Hi everybody, welcome back to Cards by the Hill. My name is Jane Hill. Okay, so I want to make a pavement for the village, and for that I'm going to use lollipop sticks, because there might be somewhere that I could use it. So yeah, let's use two. Okay. Then I'm going to go back to my cobbles and I'm going to start covering it in cobbles. I think they might have to be a lot smaller though. Make them a lot smaller. And I'm going to cover up the end of the sticks. And start putting them together. Alright, so here we are. Now I've added another few sticks here and further down this way to make it a bit longer. So I was thinking a house here, house here, house here sort of thing. So obviously got to continue covering in egg box. Now, as I said, I'm going to buy some road and street pieces from Limax, but I'm making these because I want to do an extra village when this one's complete, to sit on a sideboard or something like that. So once this tree's done, I'm going to move on to another one. So it's just a case of continuing to cover this all up. So let me carry on with that. And then I'll come back to you when it's finished. It's completely covered now in the cardboard from the egg box, and I'm just gonna give it a coat of Mod Podge just to make sure everything is glued together. You don't have to do this step. I just think it's a bit more binding for them so they don't go anywhere. And of course this is a cheaper alternative. As I said, I am going to buy some, but I wanted to make one and see whether it came out good enough. This brush is falling apart. So just a quick coat of Mod Podge and then let that dry. Then we can come back to it and paint it. glue threads on here as well now. There we go. Right, so just going to let that dry now, and then we can come back and paint it and add some snow. Okay, here it is back. So you can see the Mod Podge is all dry, and it's made it a lot sturdier than it was. And in these sections here, I'm going to put platforms for the buildings to sit on. Okay, so I've got one here. This is just a plain one, so it can go in the side like that, one that side there, and in this section here I've got a piece of grass. Let me just get it. So I've got a piece of grass here. It's really soft and it's felted on the back. I don't know where it was from, but I think it came in a craft stash that I picked up. It's really nice. I suppose it's astroturf of some sort, but I don't know. I'd like to get some more. So I'm going to cut that, and then that will fit in the centre there. Okay. So now back onto this, and we need to paint it. So I'm thinking about using the grey, the metallic anthracite from the pound shop, because that brings out the cobbles quite nicely, I think. I'm going to have to find another paintbrush. I'm running out of paintbrushes again, and I also need to have a cleaner. Right, I've got one here, a 1-inch one. These are cheap brushes I pick up at the pound shop. So if you're looking for brushes, that's a good place to go. You can often get a pack quite cheap from there. I'm going to cover the edges. Don't panic too much, because we're going to go over the edges in the snow. And if you saw the stand I did, the polystyrene stand, you'll see that the grey does come out quite nice on these egg box cartons. So just give it a coat. As I say, the Mod Podge does make it a lot stronger. It was a little bit rickety at first, but it has improved in strength after that was put on. So it's not a bad idea to give it a coat. As I say, don't worry too much about the little edges, because we're going to put snow. I want to put some snow on the grass as well. Hopefully that works out. And it's the Snow Tex by Deco Art. Really, really good. I know Lee Max do some loose snow. Quite a good price. I think it's $3.99. I've got to pick up one of those. So you can go into the gaps with the paints, cover any up that you can see. Used all that up, that was good. There we go. So now that's got to dry. Let's get some of this paint off my hands. Obviously you can use wood pieces that fit exactly in the spaces. I didn't have any. I used the Amazon pack of wood in a recent haul, but none of the pieces fit in that area. If I'd have made it wider, they probably would have done, but I've got to be careful how wide I go, because the pavement's got to fit on the shelf if I'm going to use it. Okay, so we'll let that dry now, and then we'll come back and we'll add the snow. Right, so here we are back with the pavement, and what I've done is go over with some black, Arteza Space Black. I found that the metallic anthracite was quite bright, so I decided, let me use a wipe. Just to darken it down a little bit. And then what I want to do is add some flocking here and there as little plants, and then the snow. So I think it needed darkening down a little bit. Already went over it once, so this is the second time. Of course, it's going to flake off little bits here and there, so if you don't want that happening, then don't worry about this bit. I think the anthracite was far too bright, and I haven't got another grey, not a dark grey. There we go. So it just takes the shine off a little bit. And fills in any little crevices, which is better. So now that's done, I've got to let that dry. Right, so let's get on with the pavement. Here it is back, now it's dried. So the black has darkened it down a little bit, not an awful amount, but it doesn't look as bright as it did before. Gonna add the snow text by Deco Art, and I'm just going to use a finger to do it. So I'm going to go around the edging, with the snow text. And of course you can add as much as you like, or you don't have to add it at all, it's up to you. So I'm just going to continue going round. And you can always add bits to the actual pavement itself on top if you want to cover some of the cobbles in snow. So as I've said before, directions are you can use a spatula, a brush, sponge, spatula, brush or a sponge. But having done a few things with Snow-Tex now, I find that the easiest thing to do it with is your finger, and then you can wipe it off afterwards. Now on the actual pavement itself, I'm going to add some bits of flocking. If you've got grass bits, then you know you can add grass, or if you've got the machine that makes grass, which I didn't even know there was one till now, you can make grass to add. Just finishing up here. So I'm just going to finish that last bit off with the snow, and then once that's dried we'll come back and we'll add some flocking to look like moss and grass. Okay, right, so I'm back. Here's the pavement. The snow is dried, so what I want to do is add a little bit of flock here and there to look like moss. Probably not a good idea to have the fan on. So we're going to glue this with, I think, acrylic glue, Ultimate Craft Glue by Dovecraft. I think we're going to use this. So I want a really small amount in places. Get some tweezers I can work with. I'm going to put it in random places on the pavement. Let's just make sure this is working. Yeah. Okay, so let's just start here. So I'm just going to follow the line of the pavement, the cobbles. And just put a little bit here and there like that. Again, I'm just going to spread it out, push it down. We've got little bits here and there. Okay, so I'm going to go over the pavement with it. I've got the other one here as well, which is Envious Green. This one is Olive Yew. This one's a lot lighter. Let's put some light one on here. Like that. So just kind of in between the cracks. Doesn't have to be a great deal. And as I said, you can leave this out if you want to, you don't have to do it. Just thought it might make it look more like a pavement. And then, knew that would happen sooner or later, I'll show you the whole thing put together. Let's wipe that off. Don't you hate that when that happens? You waste so much glue. Now of course the ones on this side are a lot bigger. Right, so let's make these a bit bigger. Of course it's got to dry. You can build it up, so once you've let it dry you could build it up with some more. Okay, I'll just put a little bit in this one. That's enough, I think. Okay, so there it is done. Pavement for Christmas Village. Just let me clean up and then I'll come back, put them all together and show you what they look like. Okay, so there we are. So we've got the brick floor, the cobbled floor, the grass in the middle, we've got the pavement running round, and we've got the two brick walls on the edge there. So there we go, there's a complete scene for a Christmas village. You just need to add your pieces to it. So as I do in all my videos, I want to thank you for your likes, thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It means so much to me. Thank you for taking the time out to watch the videos, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.